lot of scientific evidence to prove that core training can help with injury prevention, but that is something we're going to talk about. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Heather, your virtual sports chiropractor, and if you haven't heard just yet, I've created 27 tips for runners on injury prevention. Now, over the course of the next 27 weeks, we're going to go ahead and talk about each one of these tips right here on the channel. But if you want to grab the complete guide, click the link I've left you down below. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with tip number 19, which is core training. And again, like I mentioned right at the bat of this video, there's not a lot of scientific evidence that shows that core training can really help in prevent injuries. But we do know as professionals, by strengthening the core, we can really help allow for increased range of motion, stability to the spine, which can lead to healing those injuries a lot faster. Now, if you are somebody who has worked with me, if you're somebody who is currently following me on social media, maybe you're an even subscriber of my channel, which thank you very much, but you will see that a majority of the stuff I talk about right here on the channel always re-emphasizes engage your core. Now, I'm not a big athlete. We all know I'm a small little petite person, but I have a very strong core because I've learned that by allowing for my core to really strengthen, if I can harness the power from there, I can increase my overall performance and I can decrease my chance of having an injury set in. These are all things and tools that I teach every single one of my clients who work with me in my 3-week sports chiropractic program, that really if we can look at the core, if we can create some stabilization around, our lumbar spine, our pelvis, our pelvic bowl, if we can really start to work on increasing flexibility and mobility through the hips, we can notice an overall performance improvement. And a lot of times by just doing some of these basic and simple things, all of our injuries that we're experiencing in our extremities do disappear. It is not a magic science, but it's really understanding everything that we've been talking about over the past 27 weeks right here on the channel, which is understanding our muscle imbalances, understanding how to correct them through some core specific training, through stretches, through flexibility, through mobility work, and then from there enhancing it a little bit further. Now, I will say that, doing core training doesn't mean necessarily doing a ton of crunches, but it doesn't mean also too just doing a plank every day. Core training is actually very specific because what we want to do is focus in on harnessing that core contraction, so that pelvic floor stabilization, the transverse muscle groups in really engaging throughout that abdominal area. Now, if you can understand how to engage your core also too while running, you should notice that the lower limbs have an easier flow, that they move a little bit more effortlessly, and you actually might even notice a little bit more on increased speed, which is a really neat little factor that I've noticed with every single runner that I've ever worked with, and even some of my triathletes. When I've gone ahead and introduced core training with my triathletes, they've been able to shave off anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes on their total time. That's the whole combination time of their event. And that was just simply by really harnessing power around the core. Now, if you're interested in really understanding more about how to really engage your core, how to look at, decreasing your injuries through some core training, I would highly recommend that you book that consultation with me, and let's start taking a look at your muscle imbalances, your weaknesses, and figuring out how to really activate and stimulate that core so you can notice some better performance overall. All right, everyone, this is Dr. Heather, and like I said, you can catch all 27 tips right here on the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video.